Andrew Snowden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Every week the Prime Minister comes here and reads out this pre-scripted nonsense that bears no resemblance to the questions he's actually asked. The Leader of the Opposition asked him about Peter Mandelson and he answered about the war in Iran. The Leader of the Opposition asked him about Mandelson again and he answered with an attack on the Shadow Justice Secretary. He was asked about Mandelson again and talked about protests in London. What is he scared of? What is he hiding? For a man who has spent years presenting himself as a forensic investigator, he has certainly had a blind spot to the details for this convicted paedophile with a friend in high Labour places. So I shall ask him again, when he found out that Lord Mandelson had an ongoing relationship with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, did he speak to him personally before appointing him ambassador to the United States?
Mr. Speaker, we've set out the process. It is being put before the House. But I know why they don't want to. They don't want to talk about the war because they supported going into the war without thinking through the consequences. That is a huge error of judgment. I realise they don't want to talk about it ever again. I'm not surprised. Nor do they want to talk about the Shadow Justice Secretary saying that Muslims are not welcome to prayer in Trafalgar Square. She should remove him from their front bench, or I suspect he'll be up there next on that trail.
This was one of the most controversial moments in Parliament. And what was shocking wasn't just the question, but the blatant way the Prime Minister dodged it. A MP repeatedly questioned the connection between a high-ranking figure and the Epstein scandal. An extremely serious question demanding a clear answer. But instead of confronting it, the Prime Minister did what more and more people are realizing. He responded like a scripted machine, evading, deflecting, and shifting to completely unrelated issues. The Iran war, the London protests, attacks on political opponents, all were brought up, except for the answer the people actually needed. And that's what angered many. If there was nothing to hide, why couldn't he answer directly? Why was a simple question turned into a prolonged distraction? This moment is more than just a typical political debate. It exposes a disturbing reality. When power is questioned, silence or avoidance sometimes speaks louder than any answer. What about you? Do you think this is just familiar political tactics, or a sign of something bigger being hidden behind the scenes?